right, let's start. Let's do the pledge and get rolling. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Rich isn't here, so I'm going to pinch it as chair and it'll co-chair. Any public comments?
I will just say first.
Yeah, we'll go with Karen first. You
sorry, I didn't see your hand.
She was quick with that draw, man.
I just wanted to ask on behalf of Brookfield Women's Society, or if we can request to use the townhouse again for a 6-week session of yoga, January 4th through February 8th. It'll be on Thursdays from 8:30 till 9:15.
What is the purpose, Karen?
The yoga, a 6-week yoga session again.
Yeah, we should be done painting all that stuff by then, so I don't see any problem. Just let email Cassandra to get on the calendar.
Okay. And will we still have the same fee? We charged $100 before.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
What's that?
Okay, I was just going to say that I was working on the newsletter site a bunch yesterday. I think I've got everything that's going to be happening in the next 2 weeks on there anyway. It seems like more and more stuff keeps coming in. I'm still working on how to organize it on there, but for now, it's getting there. Slowly but surely getting there.
When was the next tax bill going out?
November.
Just before Thanksgiving, I think, usually.
Yeah. So
That's a good time.
I'm going to shoot for a print edition by then. We'll see what happens.
Add it to the bill. You expect 2 pages still, or?
Oh yeah, I won't go over that.
Okay, I didn't know sometimes if we need to go higher. Okay. For a couple pages added to the tax bill, and we should be good.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other public comments? No scheduled speakers. We got one set of minutes. Okay. So September 19th, or last week. Ed and I were there, so we can vote.
I will make a motion to accept the minutes as presented from September 19th of 2023.
All right, I'll second. All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
All right. Those minutes again. All right.
Treasurer?
Treasurer first.
Okay, I have completed my accounting class with the New Hampshire Government Finance Official, and I got my certificate, so
Congratulations.
thank you for supporting me on that. Also, I brought up to Ed earlier that my filing cabinet the lock is broken. I had to play with it to get it to work. We were going to use that fireproof one, but it's got stuff in it. We looked, it's got planning board stuff in it.
Planning board. So when you say planning, is this stuff old, or is it?
I didn't look through it, but
I think what we need to do is reach out to them and find out.
Yeah, if they're actively using it, that's fine, then we'll just order another one.
You know, not, we can even...
I also
Do you have a key for, do we have a key for that
I
one?
think that had to be broken into. I don't think there's a key.
Then what I know is you need a key for your one. I'll up on the spot. Why don't you order a new one?
Okay.
Go to Staples and order one. Does that make sense, Ed?
Yep, I agree.
Okay. And also, the budgets are coming in from all the committees. There's just a couple left, and so we'll start working on budget next meeting, if that's okay. And Karen and I have started, we've been doing ACH payments to the state, so that involves every day the caterer coming in and sending it off to the state by ACH payments. So now, and Karen was probably going to talk about this in a minute, we can now accept credit cards online only. Registration, you want to jump in, Karen? Go ahead and... yeah, I'm doing a great job. So, we haven't quite figured out the whole bookkeeping part of that yet, but people can register their cars with a credit card online with a fee. but we won't have in-house credit cards accepted. So we're going to try to get all the bugs worked out of that.
So the ACH payment will show up on our profile?
It's going to show up, yeah.
All right, so you might be doing it retroactively, like bookkeeping to kind of account for what we should have gone through just to reconcile?
I've talked to our software people, and they've recommended a couple of things, like I can put it's going to hit, when she makes that, when the company gives us the ACH money, it's going to hit our bank account before I know about it.
Yeah.
So then I can put it into maybe some deferred revenue, and then when Karen gives me a report, I take it out of deferred revenue and put it in.
Yeah, that's not sounding like retroactive, like bookkeeping, like you know the money's going to be there, then just keep shifting into active revenue.
So we're going to just have to work out those little bugs, but it does require some more time on my part, but I think it's for the convenience of the community. I think it's a good thing.
And the fee attached to it is 3%?
It's based on their credit cards.
Okay.
We don't pay anything.
So we don't know, okay, so we don't get it for any fee.
The customer pays all the fees.
I think people are going to assume, though, that if we're accepting it online, they're going to think Karen can accept it in-house, you know?
Yeah, we're getting there. We're not
Right.
quite there yet.
Right.
Another year.
Is that the ultimate goal, is to be able to have them hand you a credit card?
I think we'll have to look at costs to the town, because there'll be significant fees to the town to purchase the equipment, and also there's fees per transactions. And you have to work through the vendor on those. We can't kind of go out and find our best deal.
The middleman needs his nickel.
Yeah. But I think this gives people an opportunity. A lot of people want to use a card for a renewal, so I can just refer them back to the website to do it. And it is a lot more secure, because before you had to put in your checking account and routing number to do it. So now they can do it with it's a lot more secure this way.
So it turns off the e-checks, right? So you can't use your, you can't do a e-check.
You can do a debit card.
You can do a debit, but not a checking account.
Okay.
And it's saving us on the check printing costs, because all those transactions were printed on checks. So there's a lot of savings to the town doing it this way.
Can it be used for dog registrations online too, or just vehicles at the moment?
Any of the online transactions, dogs, birth certificates, marriage certificate requests, dump stickers, boats, you can't do online yet.
Thank you.
But just renewals, not any new ones.
We're getting it, slowly easing into the 20th century.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
And I think, eventually they want that credit cards for taxes as well, debit or credit. So, we're moving into that.
Yeah, all right. We'll get there. Okay. All right, and then we'll do bills and rebills and stuff later, right?
Yeah.
Road agent. Let's keep seeing people.
I was wondering if we can, the town has a statute for plowing snow into the road and across the road. I was wondering if we could include that in the November tax bill mailing. Just a copy of the of what the town has. I think it's even on the website, but just throwing it in with the tax bill as a reminder.
Yeah, that's always most people are pretty good about it, but there's an occasional person, that doesn't clean up after themselves.
Well, it's not only that, but when you push all the snow across the road, it
bumps it out.
Yeah, it bumps it out and it creates something you can't move. So I either got to go around with a loader and fix it afterwards, which is fairly expensive, or, creates a hazard in the road too.
Yeah. All right.
Can you just email it to me? Good.
Yeah, I can find it.
Thank you.
It was even if we just keep it informal to say, we ask you don't plow across you, but if you have to, please make sure you push the snow back more than adequate distance, not to encroach on the right of way, and please be sure to clean up after yourself. Just the kind of just common sense.
It's actually a one-page. It's a statute ordinance that.
Yeah, we're really seeing that in our.
Yeah, so I would just send that along, and just so that people know that.
Yeah.
There's a fine associated with doing it, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always a problem. A few people, most people are pretty good, but yeah. So we got a room in it, so we try to get most of that in there. Seeing as it'll be November, perfect timing.
You can do that.
That's it, though.
there's kind of a semi-road project, it's more of a construction project. We have the well over on the town property that it would require access from Cottle Hill Road. I guess you could probably cut down Cottle Hill, right?
I don't think so.
No, I'm trying to think like, would you get down Cottle and go across the field?
You can't.
It would probably be easiest if you had to get a truck in there to go down to the Governor's.
Yeah, you can't get across the field.
No.
The royal family won't allow it.
Even if it was town asking,
Well, we'd have to go and get their permission.
You also have to move a bunch of boulders and stuff to get in there, like
Alright.
you have to go.
I'm just thinking Old Governor's Road is pretty muddy.
Yes, yes. it
So we may have to wait till it freezes up or gets hard.
Depends on what kind of truck you're bringing down there, I guess.
Because it's well, probably 3 feet round, not even, but it's uncapped, it's on our property. And we're just trying to get something we could cap
Maybe
it
4
with.
feet. It's
Yeah, I can show you a
possible.
picture later on, but it's, essentially we need like a well cap to go on, like a cement well cap to kind of protect.
Any child can fall in it and drown at the moment.
Yeah, we don't need animals going in there and dying too next,
Do you want it capped, or do you want to fill it in?
I think, I would prefer just to cap it, I think, but.
I'd probably ask Mary Lou about that, maybe?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
no, because it's
Heritage.
a safety issue? I don't know.
I don't think it's a heritage, it's a town property issue, it's up to the selectmen to take what ground to do,
True.
but it's.
The safest thing to do is fill it in, because it's never going to be used again.
No, it's not
That's
actually
true.
used.
And, I mean, unless there's some historic value to it, it's always safer to fill it in. That way, there's no question about what goes on.
Yeah, because we know what the well was, so we could definitely notate this was the well. Yeah.
Faith Buell, 109 Lyford Road. It, what was I going to say? Well, the access is very difficult to get in there. There's no way, except with the permission of Chanticleer Farm LLC, that you can really get in there unless you use Old Governor's Road. Are you Chris Kimball?
Yeah.
Yes, I thought.
I don't see any problem using Old Governor's Road. They cut hay in there and they haul it out, so.
Well, barely. He has voiced some displeasure with the condition of the road and hinting that he can't go in there with his equipment anymore because it will destroy it.
Yeah. Well, if he wants to cut the hay in there, I would say you should fix it anyway. The town can't really do anything unless we're going to upgrade the road, and they're not going to do that, so.
Right, we don't want to go there.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking going through the field is going to be the safest. When I walked with us, you guys sent me the pictures, I went over there. Oh man, that road is, I'd be, if you could get through there, then.
Well, I guess
Yeah,
the
we
thing
You
could
could
drive.
go in with a normal truck and be fine,
I
as
think
long as
the-
you had 4x4.
I think the thing to do is just take a look at it and
Yeah.
Yes.
let me know what you want to do, if you want it filled in or capped.
All right. Well, why don't you take a look? Tell me, one, do you think you can get in by the road?
Yeah.
And if you think you can get in there, if you're talking filling, you're going to need some sort of equipment, right?
Yeah.
If
So-
you can come this Sunday, we're gonna be doing trail cleanup.
Okay.
We can show you exactly where it
Okay.
is,
Yeah, that'd be good.
so,
All right.
What time is that starting on Sunday?
that one.
1 o'clock?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can do that.
We can make a decision at our next meeting. based
Yeah,
on-
that gives you the option to
Yeah.
say, this is what I think we should do, and we can run it by Mary Lou. I don't want to discount Mary Lou, but because it is historic per se, because it's an old well. It's just gonna.
Safety issue and the,
Yeah, I just want someone, one, I want someone to fall in two, because the animal falls in, the next thing you get water getting,
There's a question, we don't know how deep it is either.
No,
I have no idea,
It
yeah.
looks
No,
like
it's
a
a
bottomless pit.
very classic looking stone lined well
Yeah.
without any rise on the surface.
Right, it's right at ground level.
Oh, yeah, I
So-
saw it, basically, you can see more of the inside of the well than anything around it.
Yeah,
The ground is right up to
exactly.
it. So it's a perfect little
I
walk
was
right
lucky
into
I
it.
was looking down when I found it.
Yeah, and if it's like you get some snow, like the snow would cover, you wouldn't see
Oh
it.
yeah, you just fall right in.
It'd be bad time, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chris, you can check it out for us, that'd be huge, so we can get that off the list and make sure no one takes a header. Oh, thank you. All right. No other road agents stuff, we're good.
Committee stuff?
Yeah, let's not pick them up. All right, ZBA, man.
Yeah, all right, Thursday, 7 o'clock, October 5th, we're gonna have a ZBA organizational meeting, and it's gonna be to hopefully appoint a chairman. I don't know if we'll get to that point, but that's gonna be one of the objectives, and it's gonna be to critique Also, how the hearing went last month. And I'm going to try to get the members of the ZBA to agree to meet at least quarterly. It's been as needed for a long time, and that's fine. There isn't a lot of demand for it, but you lose membership, you lose interest, and you lose your thought, right? You lose how the process works. So we meet quarterly, we keep everything fresh in everybody's mind. So Thursday, 7 o'clock, it's all posted on the web and over here and on the free library as well. And the Conservation Commission, they said earlier, we're going to meet tomorrow, a regular monthly meeting, and then Saturday there'll be a meeting at the town property, the town preserve, to do some walks.
Sunday. Excuse me, Sunday.
We're doing
Sorry,
it
Sunday, thank you.
so that everyone can see Bob's cemetery talk first, and then
Right.
the next day we'll go and clear trails.
Yes, that's correct.
And when was it posted? Because I was going to add that to the website tomorrow or this evening.
Frank had said that he would be doing that.
I'm talking about for the ZBA.
Oh, ZBA?
No, Frank's is there. Frank's good. I didn't see the ZBA for the 3rd. I mean, for the 5th.
It's just posted. Look on, are you on the ZBA?
I was on the calendar. Okay, so you. All right, then I'll have consistency out to the calendar.
Agendas, it should say.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, then we're good there. Okay. But I'll have to throw it on the calendar too, just so people see it there.
Okay.
All right, so that's 7 p.m. here. Good. All right.
Now, Municipal Records Committee met the other day too, and there's a lot of things, and Karen will bring up a couple of things that we want to try to approve tonight in just a minute. Well, what I think we want to do, it became apparent that this right to know, RSA is 91A, is going to become more important to us as a community, and how do we address it and handle it when the requests come in. And our attorney happens to be a subject matter expert on it, and she has offered in the past to provide training. So I'm thinking, as we develop our budgets for '24, I'd like to talk about putting something in there for training on right to know.
Yep.
And then last thing, it's not really a committee thing, but it kind of is. There's an odor coming from underneath the townhouse. So Bob Savasic and I, as well as Brad Williamson, kind of snooped around a little bit, and it's somewhere under the front end where the kitchen is, and it's dissipating. It's not as bad as it was 2 days ago. So
something died 2 days ago.
So I think there probably was some kind of a critter that got under there and died, but it is getting better. However, what we did find is there are 2 spots in the foundation of that building where animals can get through. Right over on this side, facing the town office, there's a wooden louvered vent. It's a ventilation, it's an air vent. And the critters have slid through the slats and poked their nose through the screen. So there's a direct access through that. And then over by the free library, there's another window there, again, for cross ventilation. There's a steel plate driven down and put in front of that. And the purpose of that plate was to keep critters from going in. They dug under it. So they bored a hole underneath it, and they found a gap in the stones that make up the foundation, and that's how they got in. I think that's probably the more problem. So what I'd like to do is, with permission from the board, I'll get a hold of Brad and ask him to take a look at covering those 2 access points up. I mean, we're going to deal with what we're going to do for the Saturday presentation, but this can only happen again unless we do something to stop them. So.
Yeah, so let's get Brad to do it. I'm sure it's going to be nominal cost, maybe,
Exactly.
probably under $100 for him to patch it up, at least get him in there to try to stop future infiltration.
Okay, I will contact Brad tomorrow and tell him to go ahead and see what we can do to plug it up.
Okay. Heritage met this past week when it was barbecue. Let's talk about getting the town book reprinted. A couple sources that are out there that they're checking into. to include an electronic copy of the actual book. There's a November, what's going on in November?
Let's see. Treasures from the Archives.
Yes,
Yes.
Treasures from the Archives, I knew something. And then the next one after that is going to be early December. There will be the town breakfast. We're going to consider like a nominal charge for a family, and we'll get that together. More information to come.
Brian, there was one more thing that I think was important. We talked about getting an updated critical needs assessment done,
Yes.
because it's been 12 years, I think.
Yeah, Salmon Falls is the last real one.
Yeah, and so we're going to look into potential vendors who can conduct that and look at what the cost is, and then explore getting a grant that'll cover it, one that's doesn't have to be matched, so that we know what the priorities are. And clearly there's some priorities right now, but those have to be taken care of as quickly as possible.
All right. And lastly was the painting is scheduled to start next month, and it should be done hopefully within a week or two. It should be relatively short-lived, but we're on the schedule to do all the interior painting in the sills. That does not include the stencil, but that is done, and that's still under what our original budget was. I believe it's $6,800 as of now. That was a little bump from the previous numbers due to the windowsills being taken care of. We have one timber gravel, we have one intent to cut. Let's see, map 5, lot 5 on Garney Road, approximately 5 acres. Cut area is going to be 1.5 acre cut, a relatively small cut total. That's good.
Is that an excavation tax, or is that a...
Intent to cut.
intent?
Yeah, just purely intent. So there's no tax levy as of yet. Trustees, the trust fund have not met. They did respond to an inquiry about taking on a new plot, and they gave instructions to the Board of Selectmen how to address that in the future. I will be passing that along to one individual that had made a request. Planning board meets again next week?
Second Monday.
Also next month, I'm sorry. So
Should be October.
October 23rd.
Second Monday of each month.
Oh, each month. Okay, so just the second one. You only meet once a month.
Correct.
Okay, so you've already met October 9th, right?
It's not October 9th.
I mean October. I'm jumping ahead. I'm sorry, I did my wrong dates here. All right, so October 10th. That's tomorrow. All right, I was looking at the wrong week. Sorry. So planning board meeting October 10th tomorrow here at
Not tomorrow.
It's the second Monday.
the second.
Today's the 3rd.
Today's the 3rd.
It's next Tuesday.
Oh shit, I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay, thank you. All right, second Monday of the month. That'll be the 9th.
Correct.
Sorry, Mike. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong month. I kept it in. All right. Any other boards that need to speak, or anything you want to do?
Just a few things, just to piggyback a little bit on what Ed had introduced. We did, I sent out 2 policies for the Selectmen to review for the Municipal Records Committee. One is archive use policy, just to kind of formalize the contact person, some of the process to use the materials and the security of the materials in the archives. And the other one is access to the town vault. And restricting that access to only key people, just to protect our archives.
But that's the way it is as of now, right? No one else has access to the vault other than Clerk Craig and one other person?
Craig's assistant.
Craig's assistant,
Yes,
yeah.
the assistant archivist. Actually, the treasurer has had access to it in the past because the valuable postage paid envelope tax collector, I'm so sorry, tax collector, has stored the envelopes that are postage paid in there. So what the other part of our request was, if we could purchase a cabinet, and I think I sent you a sample of what was selected. It's a locking cabinet that can go in the tax collector's office to secure those envelopes, and then we'll be able to just have the other 3 people have access.
Right.
So our request was to use no more than $200 to buy the secured cabinet for the tax collector's office.
I thought we approved that. I might be confusing with something else. But I know we talked about it, we looked at alternatives in the selectman's office now and realized that there really isn't anything viable. So I thought we'd approve it, because the old table is coming out in order to move. Have we not actually?
I don't remember talking about that.
Yeah.
All right, then I'll make it a motion right now. That
Okay.
we authorize either Rose or Diana to come up with some kind of a secure cabinet for her records, not to exceed $200. I'll make that a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so Rose and Diane will go ahead and work on getting that ordered, and we need to move the old table out. We'll find a place for it, I guess.
That'd be great. Thank you very much. And I just wanted to mention we've met 3 times, and we've really spent a lot of time looking at RSA 33A, which is maintaining records for all the departments in the town. So our goal right now, we've put together a survey for each department, and we're going to meet with the department people. We're going to pilot it with the treasurer's office as a group at a work session to look at RSA 33A to see what records are required by the state mandates and their retention schedule, and then any additional records that might be in the departments that don't have a retention schedule, and identifying the appropriate schedule for our town for maintaining records, and also figuring out what records and how to dispose of records, and maintaining logs of disposal of records. So there's been a lot of work kind of going on behind the scenes, and that'll be our next project, is doing the surveys of the departments and seeing what we actually have physically here.
In response, have you had a chance to look at those 2 procedures that she's talking about?
Yeah, and I think we can vote on those when Rich comes. We can.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we'll take the vote actually.
In case he has any changes or anything. I thought they were fine. They were pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
You know, I thought they made sense. But we'll just vote on those when Rich comes in,
That'd be great.
and then we can go ahead and just get those finalized.
He's back for the next meeting.
He's back the next meeting. So.
All right, so we'll actually take the vote then at the next selectmen's meeting.
That's great. Thank you.
Just the off chance he has some sort of input to
Fair enough.
maybe just do that.
Perfect. Thank you. Can the town clerk?
No,
Can I
please,
throw the town clerk out there too?
Okay.
I just wanted to mention, we did have our first ACH and our first credit card payments were made today. I did reach out to the customer to see how it worked on her end, and she said it was easy and worked really well. So as far as working through the process on our end of getting things documented and recorded, we'll continue to work on that, and I do appreciate Joanne's willingness to work on this with me, because I know it's an extra burden for her. I do want to mention dump stickers for 2024 are on order. I expect they'll be in by the end of October, so people are asking now, but they should be here by the end of October, and then they'll be available. The decals for 2024 boat registrations are available if people are renewing a boat. For new boats, you either have to wait to 2024 or buy a 2023 sticker, but you can renew your boats for 2024 now. And we were accepted as one of the pilot towns to do weekly mailings of our DMV records, our documents, our daily documents. Before we had to mail them every single day, but they're piloting that, and I'm hoping that at some point it'll be an electronic submission, but at least we're on our way to doing a single mailing per week, which I'm hoping will be a cost savings for the town. And I think that's it. I still have some dogs out there that have not been registered, but if residents do not have a current rabies vaccination or a current dog license, they're at very high risk at this point of a civil forfeiture fee of $25 plus other expenses. So really need to get all the dog licenses. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other committees? All right, we're not gonna do any budget this evening, but we've been talking, and next week, when Rich is back, we're gonna start doing budgets, so if anyone has budgets outstanding, which sounds like most are in, we'll definitely start to talk budget at that point in time. Always the big one, Chris, is gonna be road, winter's pretty, is what it is, but summer projects, if you wanna, I know you contemplate doing that top coat stuff, and
I got some preliminary numbers on the chip sealing, and probably to accomplish some of that, you would still need to do a little shimming too with asphalt, but be much less than what we've been spending. So.
Sure. All right, so we're trying to get some ballpark numbers. It's usually one of the last ones that really finally tackles the whole road, but so.
I've been working on it a little bit, so
okay.
I'll have something for you next meeting.
Great. All right. No other committees, nothing? Read the one intent to cut. We'll just read the bills.
Okay, Brad Williamson for installing ventilation.
What is the?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to give you that. So it starts
Yep.
here.
Okay.
So Brad, $168. Carroll County Registry of Deeds, $36.66. Consolidated Communications, $119.14. Donahue, Tucker, and whatever, $136.50. Eversource, $23.64 and $160.15 for $183.79. Gov Connection, $225.22. Government Regional School District, $86,624. I'm sorry, Government.
Oops, I didn't put it over.
Sorry.
That's right. 86. And
Yeah.
okay. What we did.
Okay, Joanne Dollier, $35.46 for postage and reviewing the minutes. Kinville Construction, $3,419 and $2,789 for a total of $6,208.
Yep.
Karen Savasic, $32.25, postage and office supplies.
Okay, what else should we get?
Oh, Karen. Karen Savasic,
Oh, okay,
$32.25.
yeah. All right.
And Rose Zacher for mileage to go to her conference, $57.64. And on the other page,
Go ahead. That.
I got you confused.
Well, I got them all on.
Okay, and Town of Wakefield was, that's on the second one.
Yeah.
Yep, $122,893.58 for recorded bill.
And that is for the safety complex as well as solid waste.
Yes. Totals.
Okay.
Total of $93,826.66 and Town of Wakefield was $122,893.20. Good, I can't read.
893.68.
Point of clarification, did you say $6,209, that's it? No cents for that one?
For which
I
one?
think it was Kinville.
Oh, Kindle. That was the total of two.
There was no change on that.
$6,208.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So I'll make a motion to accept the bills as read on the record.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
One other side note, you could contact Brad about the two holes there. Can you see if you could look at maybe doing a quick power wash at the front of this building? This one here, it's pretty rough with all, all the dust and bugs and stuff like that. It could be done real quick. Spray down.
So we'll plug up the holes over there and power wash the front.
Yeah.
Okay, get it.
Any other new information? You need to talk? We all set? Nothing new to do? Anything else in the public? All right, meeting adjourned at 6:35.
Yes, you will. Oh, wait.
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
I might not if you're on the left.
I know, but I hope it goes well. And you're trying to, you know, anticipating.
I the number of the street.
That's the thing, they're
Well, it's a green one, so it's the red.
I think that's, and their stepfather,
Well, they're not going to get.
Across the street from
No, he's claiming the name is not. Because my sister didn't want Dr. Chen, she didn't want them to be. But she died without putting that in writing.
Everybody has different processes.
So, yeah. Thank you for your choice.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, I know it was being taken up to doctors.
We kind of needed the.
I forget.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, it's amazing how fast people drive on that road.
They've cut most of it. We have it. So the tax bill, once the cut's done, and then the amount of.
Yeah, there's really nothing you
each
can
and
do,
one of those
you know, other
assesses
than have a
the
police sit up,
cut,
but they won't do
and
that.
then make sure that the bill that the
But
timber
we
person
put
puts
some
in.
stuff out last Friday to keep the dust down.
Say
I
about
hope
that.
they're not, but, yeah, it's good.
And that's when you would go ahead
Quick
and
amount just to
say,
test
your
it.
cut for tax. Your tax.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't, we don't start whether
Other towns,
they.
I've said this before, other towns have said, they make sure that the property is cut in their property. Sometimes they cut.
I don't think so.
And then they take off.
They won't let me put it on there. You said
They have a process. Before they're given an intention cut, town will check to make sure
Yeah. But I think, I don't see any problem getting it. I've been out there.
if you're not doing it, you should.
Either way. Yeah, I've been out there a bunch of times. And it was actually.
Okay, I this is the thing, like the timber tax, I'm like, how long we wouldn't get it till
But sometimes the town will slow.
Yeah, what you're saying is, it's almost like, if your property tax, half of your land.
And then, that's what other towns do. And I didn't know, that's why I mentioned Boston. And they said, like, they're checking.
And not only did they not the property, they didn't get their own. If somebody's doing that, it's a going down.
Well, usually, but if someone's cutting like that, that's usually a timber tax doing it.
Hey, I will
They would
see
just
you.
go around.
Have a wonderful
Okay.
day. I hope
Yeah, you can see it.
Send me some new shoes.
It's really the sand.
When they stopped going,
And something about him I just like.
he was supposed to actually go, the selectmen asked him to. It was a good point. If he was gonna use it.
Send us a picture.
I don't know if it's ever happened, obviously, if it's worked out. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice though. Rolling,
I'm doing Thursday.
No, I saw them.
Okay. I'll see you on Sunday.
And did you come up with where you're
6:37.
gonna meet them?
Yes.